Hi everyone, welcome to another online tutorial with Entwined Belly Dance. This week we'll be covering our week 2 movement, which is horizontal hip figure of eights. So starting in dance posture, either with the feet together or under the hips, and we'll just slide the hips from side to side. Imagine you're drawing that hip across to touch the hand. And then after taking a few repetitions in this movement, bringing the hands down to the earth and twisting the hips front and back. And just feeling what's happening in the lower obliques here. So as one hip draws forward, you're contracting in the opposite lower oblique to draw that hip back. I'm also trying to keep my chest forward as much as possible. So as I draw back left, as I come back to the left, drawing the right hip forward, I'm drawing the left lower oblique in. So when the hip's moving front, that would be a downbeat front movement. When the hip's moving back on the one, that would be a backwards moving motion. So like all of our pelvic movements, working on the horizontal, like our exterior hip circles and our horizontal hip figure of eights, we want to remember our hips or our pelvis is like a bowl full of water, and we want to keep that water inside the bowl while we're moving through these movements. So we often have to pull these movements back a little bit and make them smaller to keep everything within, and the muscles will contract here as well. So we'll slide back to the left, twist forward left, back to the right, twist forward right. Back to the left, slide and twist and slide and twist. So we're setting ourselves up here for a back to front figure of 8. And slide and twist and slide and twist and slide and twist and slide and twist. Starting to smooth out the edges of this movement now and making it more fluid. And around, 2, 3, 4, and around, 2, 3, 4, and around, 2, 3, 4, and around, 2, 3, 4. Let's speed it up to 2s. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Remembering when we speed the movements up, we need to make them smaller. Back to front, back to front, back to front, back to front. Right, left, right, left. Right front, left front. Right front, left front. Around, 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 around. Trying as much as possible to isolate the hips and create a separation in the upper body. And around, around. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now because there's 2 parts to this movement, a quarter time would be a 2 count either side. So it would go 1, 2, 3, 4. Downbeat right, back to front. 3, 4. So we're hitting 1 as the right and left for the 3. 1 and 3. Full time would be half time would be 1, 2. 1, 2. So 2 count. 1 count for each part of a 2-part movement. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Full time would be 1 and 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 1 and. Let's go to 8 time now. Make it slow and squishy. Bring the feet out to the hips now. So 8 time would be a 4 count each side. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You've really got time here to come to the extension of the slide. Arc round slow and controlled, and then use that other slide to create the oppositional force of the muscle. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. If you want, you can add the arm here. So press, we did arm waves last week. So press the hand to the corner as the right hip comes around, and the left hand to the corner as the left hip comes around. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and press. 2, 3, 4, and right. 2, 3, 4, and left. 2, 3, 4. Enjoy that lean in the body. We talked a bit with our quiz this week about the Tribhangi pose, where the rib slides one way and the hip slide the other from classical Indian. So feeling that pull in the side of the body and enjoying that stretch to the oblique. We're working our lateral body here and our deep front line here. The posture muscles and the psoas in the front of the body. The IT bands are in the lateral line. They're having to work here to keep you stable. Like with my snake arms, I feel quite dreamy and grounded in this movement. Definitely one of my favorites. Okay, let's do front to back hip figure of 8. So this time we're going to slide to the front, left, and twist back left. Slide front right, twist back right. Slide, twist, slide, twist, slide, twist. While we're doing the movements in this way, again, think about what the lower oblique's doing here. So it's the opposite hip. Remember, it's the hip pulling back that creates the contraction in the lower oblique. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, pulling it back a little bit so the pelvis is staying horizontal. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Smooth it out. We'll start with quarter time, so a 2 count each side. 3, 4. So a moderate speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So noticing how these slow movements can be done slower or faster. Slow, really slow, ultra slow. For Taksim, the slow movement improvisational, or also fast for our fun folkloric. 1, 2, 3, 4. Left front to back, right front to back. Left front to back, right front to back. I almost feel like I'm drawing a teardrop around my left side of my body and my right side. Left side and right side. And left side and right side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try half time. 1, 2, 1, 2. So half time 2 count. So there's 2 parts to our movement. 1, 2. So you're hitting the 1 on the left and the 2 on the right. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Left, right. Left, right. Left, right. Left, right. Full time would be in 1 and 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 1 and. Good, and then ultra slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 8 times. 4 count either side. Slide and twist. 3, 4. Slide and twist. 3, 4. I feel like this one's a little bit harder to slow down to the 8th than the back one, because we can't really use our glute for that lean and that press for that slide. You're really having to fight against the body wanting to tip over here. So really reach forward with the arms to engage the upper body to keep you stable. So we'll bring the feet just hip distance apart here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. That would give us a little bit more juice to work with, a bit more of a range of movement for this slow timing. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and reach. 2, 3, 4, and press. 2, 3, 4, and reach. 2, 3, 4, and press. 2, 3, 4, and reach. 2, 3, 4, and press. 2, 3, 4, and reach. 2, 3, 4, and right. And left. Wonderful. So that was horizontal hip figure of eights, moving front to back and back to front. Namaste, have a wonderful day.